I always hear a lot of people raving about American snacks, and it is no secret that American culture has been transported to different parts of the world, of course thanks to Hollywood in part. Today I'll be tasting Skittles and M&Ms. Welcome to Monetize Attention. I'm jepkendagor. In this podcast I like to discover different brands, their marketing strategies and their attention economy. And I've actually been craving something sweet, so this works perfectly. Which one should I start with? I think this is going to be sweet because it has peanut and chocolate, and then this one, it's crazy sours. That's what is written. Should you always start with something sour or something sweet? I think we go with the something sweet. Oh, I was expecting to see a brown color, but they're different kind of colors. It just smells like peanuts and chocolate. My goodness, they just look appetizing. They have the little logo over there. This is so amazing. This is literally making me happy. I feel like all the fatigue I had was just evaporated. Peanut is right inside, and then it's covered with chocolate, and then I think some sugar thing. What is it called? A sugar shell. This is just sugar on another level. This is so addictive. I could literally just eat all of this in one go. It's just looking at the packaging now that I've had a taste, I'm just amazed by how they've been able to capture every single detail into the packaging. I hadn't even noticed that they showed how the M&Ms look on the inside, but they've shown that. And now we move to Skittles, crazy servers. Once again, we are seeing very colorful little balls inside here. It smells like something fruity and something that also has citrus. Going with the green one. Ooh. Oh, it's so sour. It's sour, but it also has some sweetness. Going with the purple one, this also has the little logo right there. S for Skittles. Are you supposed to chew this? Because I fear I'm destroying my teeth. This is also very addictive. My goodness. The balance of the sourness and then the sweetness is actually so perfect. The sourness doesn't linger too much that it becomes a nuisance. It's just enough, and it dies down quite quickly, and that is what really gives you this desire to continue eating them. I wouldn't be surprised if they've even employed scientists to come up with such kinds of flavors, because the balance is just so perfect. I really can't stop eating this. I have definitely gotten a month's dose of sugar just from tasting these two brands. The way they've executed these products is absolutely phenomenal. Right from when you look at the packaging, it already tells a story, and the fact that whatever you see on the packaging is what the product delivers is something that I really find astonishing. I think it's because I am just used to being disappointed, because a lot of brands have unfortunately not been able to know how to deliver exactly what they've advertised, and you would always assume that products like this will only interest children because of how they are playing with the colors, and obviously that is more interesting for children, because even when they're sharing one packet of M&Ms or Skittles, it can be really fun to be like, oh, I've got the green, I've got the purple, I've got the yellow. That's something we used to do when we were in school. Most of the times competing for who has the most amount of candy would take center stage to a point where the candy would start melting, and you would see little kids with very sticky, sweaty and colored hands from the different colors of the candy. I definitely see how this would be very interesting for children, but it's also very interesting for adults. These are products that have been created for everyone to enjoy, and that is absolutely genius, because instead of just focusing on one target audience, you have multiple target audiences, basically the mass market, and that is one of the ways of just cashing in big. We're looking at the packaging of these two products and also how the product has been presented with a different kind of colors. It makes me wonder whether these companies are both owned by one company, because it's awfully similar, although with different value propositions. One is sweet and sour, one is chocolatey and nutty and sweet. They could be competitors, not so much because they're not really selling the same flavor, is it? And I think with M&Ms in particular, it's like the perfect representation of American capitalism. I mean, they just took the little old boring peanut and they turned it into something that is more exciting. But of course, I don't think you're getting the healthy nutrients of the peanuts when you eat something like this, because you're also ingesting the chocolate and the sugar. But I must say that it's pretty smart. I'm definitely interested in learning more about the companies that have created Skittles and M&Ms, because I'm really impressed by the way they've approached their products. I'm sure that learning about these companies is definitely one of the ways to learn about branding, learning about marketing, because they're doing it perfectly. One of the reasons why I decided to start this podcast podcast. It's because I noticed that a lot of people lack one thing in life that really limits them mentally, and that is the lack of exposure. I can say that even though I was brought up in a Kenyan village, I had the privilege to be born into a family that really valued education, and it's not just education of going to school, but also about exposing us to the different points of view. So although as a family we really didn't travel around even Kenya because we didn't have the funds for that, with a few things like TVs and newspapers, there was always this emphasis that looking beyond where you are is more important, and constantly exposing yourself to different worldviews was more important than anything. And later on in my life I saw the impact of that. The fact that I'm someone that never limits myself to where I am. I'm always dreaming so big that a lot of people have nothing better to say than, oh, you're delusional. And I'm just glad that I've gotten to a point in my life where I've actually been able to prove that no, I'm not delusional, that I can dream big. And that is why I actually started this podcast, because I want to spotlight different kinds of stories. Obviously I am focusing on marketing, on brands. This is just one way of showing people that you can achieve whatever you want. You can go after whatever it is that you want. It's not impossible, but also give you ideas about what is possible, and to also help you to just think bigger. Because a segment like this where I'm trying out different brands, it just gives you a perspective that maybe you'd never really thought about. I mean, if I'd really never come across M&Ms, would never have really known that you can create something really sweet from peanuts. Sounds so simple, but that's really the thing that we should be getting at the end of the day, that you don't really have to go outside of your box all the time. Sometimes the answer that you're looking for is just within you. And it is my hope that with each episode of this podcast, it's going to challenge you to look at your own life, get a little bit of inspiration, learn one thing or two, be able to find a solution for something. Because at the end of the day, even with a lot of companies, with a lot of brands, they stem from personal stories. And this is the thing that really makes me excited about marketing, because when you really look at the most successful companies in this world and how they tell their stories, it's not about the products they're selling, it's about how they connect the humanity to this product that they've created. And there's definitely something beautiful about that.